Welcome to my new kitchen, beautiful. Today we are making an epic vegan burger. It's packed full of mushrooms, brown rice, sweet potato, avocado, sriracha, all the good things in life. Now let's get started. Right, so first up is we are going to roast some sweet potato. We're gonna kind of make them into wedges or chips to go with our burger. So we're gonna get these into wedge-like shapes. Again, if you want them into more chip-like shapes, you can cut them into that. The roasting time will just be a little bit less. Now, I think sweet potatoes are so great. They're so colourful, they're so good for you. They are packed full of vitamin A, which helps you see in the dark. They're also low glycemic index. They do have a bit of sugar to them, so they've got that nice sweetness, but they're a hell of a lot better than tucking into some chocolate bars. And we're not going to be deep frying them like you might normally have your chips. We're going to be roasting them in some beautiful olive oil. Give the tray a little shake to make sure that oil goes everywhere. We're gonna add a little bit of sea salt to them. And then we're gonna pop them in the oven to roast for about 45 minutes until they're cooked through and golden. Right, the wedges are in the oven now, let's make the burgers. I've got one red onion, but you could use a white onion, you can use a shallot, whatever you fancy, whatever's around. This is basically gonna be the base of our burger. And we're gonna use about half of it to roast down for the base of the burger, and then we're gonna use the other half as sort of like onion rings to kind of top on top. Top on top? I hope that makes sense. Obviously, these are vegan burgers. We want them to still have that kind of smoky meatiness. And I think onion really provides that sort of, it feels a little bit meaty in onion, especially when it's roasted down, it's caramelized, it's got that kind of golden burnt kind of feel to it. Now we're gonna roast these off in a pan. I'm just gonna add about a teaspoon of olive oil, allow that to heat up, and then we're gonna chuck our onions in and caramelize them down. Next, we're going to be chopping up some mushrooms to this burger. We're just chopping these up pretty roughly into little chunks. We're going to saute them down with the onions. So the onions are starting to brown, and we're going to start to add some of these mushrooms in. Now, mushrooms are so incredibly good for you. They're packed full of an antioxidant called selenium. Now, selenium is not only good for your immune system, but it's also great for your skin, and apparently your prostate too. Right, we've got onions, we've got mushrooms, and I really want to get lots of flavour with some spices in there. I'm going to be adding some smoked paprika, some thyme, and also some garlic. Right, as that's cooking down, we're going to kind of bring the rest of the burger ingredients together. So I've got some cooked brown rice here, but you could use cooked quinoa, you could use cooked buckwheat, anything that's a little bit sticky. You could use normal rice. So I've just cooked this down for 20 minutes, and you can see it's really nice and sticky. We're also going to be using some porridge oats. Now, the oats in this dish are to help soak up all the flavours. Obviously, the mushrooms are a bit watery. There's a bit of water from the brown rice, so this helps to kind of soak up the liquid and bind everything together. And we're also going to be adding a little bit of tahini, which is basically ground sesame seeds. It is amazing. I literally love it in absolutely everything. But it's also going to help bind everything together. It gives it this gorgeous kind of, slightly kind of Moroccan, Middle Eastern feel to it. You know, they use a lot of tahini in a lot of their dishes, which I love. It's not too strong in taste. If you don't have any tahini in the cupboard, you could potentially use some nut butter. I mean, when in doubt, chuck nut butter and everything. Right, these are done, nice and golden, smelling so good. I feel like that smoked paprika kind of gives it a really nice meaty feel to it. I'm gonna pour this all into here, mix it together, and we're gonna make some burgers. Before we roll them into patties, we're just gonna add a little bit of salt and pepper just to season it. So grab yourself a roasting tray, and we're just going to spread a little bit of olive oil so it doesn't stick to the bottom, and then we're going to roll our patties and chuck them on and bake them in the oven with the sweet potato wedges. Take a good handful, and I just want you to roll that into a beautifully shaped patty. How good do these look? And the great thing about these is you could make that in advance, right? And you could leave that in the fridge for a few days and then just bake it when you need it. You could probably even freeze it. patties are done, they're looking awesome. We're gonna chuck them in the oven with the sweet potatoes and hopefully they'll be all ready at the same time. While the burger's in the oven, we can prep the other parts that are gonna go into our burger to make this the best vegan burger you have ever had. We have got the rest of that onion. Don't forget about this guy. We're gonna slice it lengthwise into thin rings to make onion rings. And don't be upset about these guys. These can be rings too, even though they kind of shape more like a D. And we're gonna pop them into a nice hot pan, get them nice and golden and crispy, add a little bit of salt in there too, just to season them. And we can top those on top of our burgers. Okay, we're also gonna add some avocado slivers. So just slice that avocado in half, peel off the skin, and then we're just gonna cut some nice slivers that are gonna go on top of that burger. We've also got some beetroot, some hummus. We're gonna chuck some sriracha on that. We are gonna make this burger insane. Burgers are done, sweet potato wedges are roasted. Now let's build our burger. We've got one nice burger bun, whatever you fancy, gluten-free, sourdough, brioche, you go for it. And if you don't want to have bread, you could do like a portobello bun. So just roast some big portobello mushrooms and whack everything inside. Okay, so I'm gonna start off with some beetroot on the bottom. I'm then gonna pop on some of those crispy onion rings, which look so good. I'm gonna pop the burger on top, some avocado slices, some hummus, a little bit of sriracha. I've only got a tiny bit left. And then I will put on the side those lovely sweet potato wedges. So that's it, your brown rice and mushroom vegan burger, which will convert any of your meat-eating friends, packed full of vegetables, really actually incredibly healthy for you, which often burgers aren't. Tasty, easy to make, delicious, looks pretty beautiful. So give it a go. Make sure you tag me in #Madeleine Shaw for all your recreations. I absolutely love seeing them. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I will see you next time. Bye.